My name is Maya Patel. I'm 32 years old. 4 months ago, I sat across from a forensic accountant named Jennifer Walsh while she walked me through 5 years of my parents' bank statements, credit reports, and tax returns. I'd paid them $50,000 over 3 years to help with what they called catastrophic family debt that was threatening bankruptcy and homelessness. Jennifer looked up from her laptop and said the words that made my stomach drop. Maya, there was no debt. There's never been any significant debt. Your parents have had consistently positive net worth between $400,000 and $600,000 for the past decade. They lied to you. I stared at the spreadsheet showing their account balances, healthy savings, investment accounts, no overdue payments, no collections, no bankruptcies, nothing. Then where did my $50,000 go? Jennifer pulled up another screen. Bank transfers. From my parents' joint account to an account in my brother Rohan's name. $52,000 over 3 years, almost exactly matching what I'd paid them. It went to your brother. They took your money and gave it to him, likely for his business venture that failed, his mortgage payments, and his lifestyle expenses. But what they didn't know was that I'd hired Jennifer after my father accidentally sent me a text meant for my mother. Maya just transferred the last payment. Tell Rohan he can use it for the boat down payment. Before I tell you what happened when I confronted them at my cousin's wedding with a forensic accountant, a lawyer, and printed evidence of their fraud, please like and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy this story. Drop a comment. Where are you watching from and what time is it there? I love hearing from all of you. Now, let me take you back to where this deception really started. Growing up in New Jersey, I learned early that financial responsibility was expected of me, while financial support was reserved for my brother. My family, Dad, an IT manager who made $120,000 a year. Mom, a high school counselor making $65,000. My brother Rohan, 4 years older, who could do no wrong despite doing everything wrong. And me, the reliable daughter, the one who always paid her own way. Rohan got bailouts. I got budgets. When I was 16, I wanted to go on the school trip to Washington, D.C. $800 for a week of educational tours. Dad said no. We can't afford extras right now, Maya. Money is tight. You need to understand we have responsibilities. That same month, Rohan wrecked his car, his second accident in a year. They bought him a newer car for $12,000. He needs reliable transportation for work, Mom explained. I didn't go to D.C. Rohan got a car with leather seats. I told myself it made sense. He was older. He had a job. Cars were necessities. At 18, I got into NYU with a partial scholarship. I'd need $22,000 per year to cover the rest. We can't help with college, Dad said. We're stretched thin as it is. You'll have to take loans or find another school. I took loans. I worked 2 jobs through college, one at the campus bookstore, one waitressing on weekends. I graduated with $68,000 in debt. Rohan had gone to Rutgers 2 years before me. They paid for everything. He graduated debt-free. When I asked about the disparity, Mom said, Rohan needed more support. You've always been independent. We help where help is needed. At 25, I got my first real job as a marketing manager. Good salary, benefits, a future. I started aggressively paying down my student loans, $1,500 a month. That's when my parents called with the emergency. It was a Sunday evening, both of them on speakerphone, voices strained. Maya, we need to talk to you about something serious, Dad began. We're in financial trouble. Catastrophic debt. We might lose the house. My heart stopped. What happened? Medical bills from your mother's surgery last year. Credit card debt we'd been managing that got out of control. A loan we took out to help Rohan start his business that he hasn't been able to pay back. It all snowballed. Mom's voice cracked. We're looking at bankruptcy, losing everything. We don't know what to do. How much debt? $185,000. We've been trying to handle it ourselves, but we can't anymore. The creditors are threatening to foreclose on the house. I felt sick. Our family home. The house I grew up in. What can I do? There was a pause. Then Dad said, "If you could help us make monthly payments for a while, just until we get back on our feet, it would save us. We're not asking for much. Maybe $1,500 a month?" I was already paying $1,500 toward my own loans. But this was my parents. They'd raised me, housed me, fed me for 18 years. "Okay," I said. "I can do that." "Thank you, Maya. You're saving our lives." I redirected my student loan payments. Instead of $1,500 to my debt, I sent $1,500 to my parents' debt. Every month for 3 years. My loans stopped shrinking. My balance grew with interest. But I was helping my family. Or so I thought. During those 3 years, I lived frugally. Studio apartment in a questionable neighborhood. No vacations. No new clothes unless absolutely necessary. Rice and beans for dinner most nights. I visited my parents occasionally. The house looked fine. No signs of financial distress. But they were good at keeping up appearances, I told myself. Rohan, meanwhile, got married in a lavish wedding that cost, according to my mother, $65,000. "We couldn't let him have a small wedding," Mom explained when I asked how they afforded it during their bankruptcy crisis. "It's a cultural expectation. We took out another loan." Another loan. While I was paying $1,500 a month toward their existing debt. I didn't question it. I didn't ask to see bills or statements. I trusted them. Then, 3 months ago, my father made a mistake. He sent me a text that was clearly meant for my mother. "Maya just transferred the last payment. Tell Rohan he can use it for the boat down payment. He's been wanting one forever." I stared at that text for 10 minutes. The boat down payment. Rohan. My money. I called Dad immediately. "What does this text mean?" There was a long silence. "What text?" "The one you just sent me, about Rohan using my payment for a boat." "Oh, that was meant for your mother. Don't worry about it." "Dad, have you been giving my money to Rohan?" "Maya, it's complicated. Let's not discuss this over the phone." "Then let's discuss it in person, tomorrow." I drove to their house the next day. Both parents were there, looking uncomfortable. "Where did my $50,000 go?" I asked without preamble. Mom started. "Maya, you have to understand. Did you have $185,000 in debt 3 years ago?" They looked at each other. "We had some debt," Dad hedged. "Medical bills, credit cards." "Show me the bills, the statements, proof that the debt existed." "We don't have to prove anything to you," Mom said defensively. "You were helping your family. That's what families do." "I was helping pay off debt that you said was threatening your house. Was that true?" More silence. "I want to see bank statements, proof of the debt you claimed. Otherwise, I'm assuming you lied to me." Dad's face hardened. "You're being disrespectful. We're your parents. And I'm your daughter who paid you $50,000 based on what I'm now thinking was a complete lie." I left. And I called a lawyer. My attorney, Marcus Chen, listened to the whole story and said, "You need a forensic accountant. If they defrauded you, we need documentation to prove it." He connected me with Jennifer Walsh, a forensic accountant who specialized in financial fraud cases. Jennifer requested my parents' information through legal discovery channels: bank statements, credit reports, tax returns, mortgage documents. Everything. It took 6 weeks to compile. When she called me in to review her findings, I brought Marcus with me. "Okay," Jennifer said, pulling up spreadsheets. "Let's start with the alleged debt. You said they claimed $185,000 in catastrophic debt 3 years ago." Yes. At that time, their financial picture looked like this. She showed me documents. Joint checking account, $47,000. Savings account, $52,000. 401k accounts, $287,000 combined. Home equity, approximately $220,000. Total assets, roughly $606,000. She pulled up another screen. Liabilities, mortgage balance of $178,000. One car loan for $8,000. Credit card balances totaling $3,200. Total liabilities, $189,200. She looked at me. Net worth, $416,800. They were not in catastrophic debt. They were financially comfortable. My hands started shaking. But they said, they lied. Jennifer pulled up more documents. Let me show you where your money went. She tracked every payment I'd made. $1,500 per month for 34 months. Total, $51,000. Then she showed me transfers from my parents' account to an account owned by Rohan Patel. $52,000 over the same time period. They took your money and gave it directly to your brother, not to pay debt, not to save their house, to fund his lifestyle. Marcus leaned forward. Can we prove intent to defraud? Jennifer pulled up emails she'd obtained through Discovery. Emails between my parents and Rohan. One from my mother to Rohan, dated 2 weeks after I started payments. Maya agreed to help with the family finances. You can count on about $1,500 per month from us. One from my father to Rohan, 6 months later. Another payment from Maya came through, sending it to you now for the business expenses. One from Rohan to my parents. Thanks for the help. Maya's really saving my ass here. Does she know it's going to me? My father's response. No, and she doesn't need to know. Let her think it's going to family debt. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. They knew, I whispered. They planned this. They lied deliberately.
Yes, Marcus said. This is fraud.
Clear, documented fraud. We can pursue criminal charges if you want. At minimum, we can sue for repayment plus damages. I want them exposed, I said. I want everyone to know what they did. My cousin Priya was getting married in 6 weeks. Big Indian wedding, 300 guests, all of our extended family attending. My parents were invited. I was invited. Rohan was invited. I have an idea, I said. Marcus and Jennifer helped me prepare. We created a presentation, a clear, factual breakdown of the fraud. My payments, my parents' actual financial status, the transfers to Rohan, the emails proving intent. We prepared legal documents, a demand letter for repayment, a notice of potential criminal charges, everything official and documented. I reached out to Priya. Can I have 5 minutes during the reception to make an announcement? Family business. She agreed, thinking it was maybe an engagement announcement or something. The wedding was beautiful. Traditional ceremony, incredible food, everyone dressed in gorgeous colors. My parents were there in expensive new outfits. Rohan was there with his wife, talking about the boat he'd just bought, the boat I'd paid for. During the reception, after dinner but before dancing, Priya handed me the microphone. Hi everyone, I said. I'm Maya, Priya's cousin. I'm sorry to interrupt the celebration, but I need to share something important with our family. The room quieted. People were smiling, expecting good news. 3 years ago, my parents told me they were in catastrophic debt, $185,000. They said they were facing bankruptcy and losing the house. They asked if I could help with monthly payments. I agreed. For 3 years, I paid them $1,500 every month, a total of $51,000. People were listening, confused about where this was going. Last month, I hired a forensic accountant to verify the debt. What she found was that there was no debt. My parents had a net worth of over $400,000 when they claimed to be bankrupt. They lied to me. Gasps around the room. My parents' faces went white. The money I paid them? They transferred it directly to my brother Rohan to fund his business, his lifestyle, and apparently his new boat. I pulled up the presentation on the venue's screen. Jennifer had helped me make it clear and professional. Maya's payments to parents: $51,000. Parents' actual debt: 3 years ago, $3,200. Credit cards. Transfers from parents to Rohan: $52,000. Net worth while claiming bankruptcy: $416,800. The room erupted in shocked murmurs. My Uncle Raj stood up. This can't be right. They told me they were struggling. They lied to everyone, I said, and I have the bank statements to prove it. Jennifer stood up from her table. I'm Jennifer Walsh, forensic accountant. I've reviewed 5 years of financial records for the Patel family. Everything Maya is saying is documented and accurate. Her parents committed fraud. Marcus stood too. I'm Marcus Chen, Maya's attorney. We've prepared a demand letter for full repayment of the $51,000 plus interest and damages. If payment isn't made within 30 days, we'll be filing both civil and criminal charges. My mother started crying. Maya, how could you do this here? At a wedding? We're your parents. You're thieves, I said calmly. You lied to me for 3 years. You took money I could have used to pay off my student loans. Loans I only have because you wouldn't help with college while paying for Rohan's entirely. You committed fraud, and you thought you'd get away with it. My father tried to speak. We needed to help Rohan. His business was failing. Then ask him for help. I cut him off. Don't lie to me about bankruptcy. Don't steal from your own daughter to fund your son's failures. Rohan looked genuinely shocked. Maya, I didn't know you thought it was for debt. They told me it was family money they were giving me. Did you never question why they suddenly had $1,500 a month to give you? He looked down. I didn't ask. My grandmother, my father's mother, stood up. She was 78 and commanded respect when she spoke. Maya, is this true? They lied to you? Yes, Dadi. The forensic accountant has all the proof. She turned to my parents with fury in her eyes. You stole from your own daughter. You lied to her about bankruptcy while your bank accounts were full. What is wrong with you? My mother tried to defend herself. We were trying to help Rohan. By lying to Maya? By making her think you were losing your home? By taking her money under false pretenses? Dotty's voice shook with anger. This is not help. This is theft. She turned to me. Maya, I'm so sorry. I didn't know they were doing this. I know, Dotty. She turned back to my parents. You will repay every penny, and you will not be welcome in my home until you do. Several other relatives stood up, aunts and uncles I'd known my whole life, expressing shock and disappointment. My Uncle Raj said, We've been giving you money too, for medical bills. Was that a lie too? My parents couldn't meet his eyes. Oh my God, Aunt Mira said. You've been scamming all of us, haven't you? Claiming poverty while you're worth $500,000? The wedding had turned into a trial. Priya came over to me quietly. I'm sorry this happened at your wedding, I said. Are you kidding? This is the most dramatic thing that's ever happened at one of our family weddings. My grandmother is going to talk about this for years. She squeezed my hand. I'm glad you exposed them. My parents left shortly after. Rohan stayed, looking shell-shocked. He approached me an hour later. Maya, I really didn't know they were lying to you. I thought they were just being generous. You never questioned where they suddenly got extra money to give you. I should have. I'm sorry. You got $52,000 from them over 3 years. Can you pay it back? He looked miserable. I spent it. The business, the boat, other stuff. I don't have it anymore. Then you'll be hearing from my lawyer, too. That was 4 months ago. The demand letter went out 2 days after the wedding. My parents had 30 days to pay $51,000 plus $12,000 in damages, my attorney fees, forensic accounting fees, and interest I'd paid on student loans instead of paying them down. They paid $20,000 immediately, likely from savings they claimed not to have. They set up a payment plan for the remaining $43,000, $2,000 per month for 22 months. They're required to provide Jennifer with monthly bank statements proving they have the funds to make payments. So far, they've made 2 payments on time. Rohan is paying me $500 per month separately. His lawyer advised him to cooperate to avoid being added to the lawsuit. It'll take him 9 years to pay his share, but I have it in writing. My extended family has been incredible. Dottie called me weekly to apologize for not seeing what was happening. Several aunts and uncles sent me money, not because I asked, but because they felt terrible that I'd been scammed while they'd been living comfortably. "We should have noticed you were struggling," Aunt Mira said. "We should have asked why you never traveled or bought new clothes. We thought you were just frugal." "I thought I was being responsible," I said. "You were being stolen from." My parents have sent several emails trying to justify their actions. "We were trying to help both our children. We thought you could afford it. We didn't mean to hurt you." But they never say the truth. They lied deliberately to take my money and give it to their favored son. I haven't responded to any of their messages. Marcus says the payments and payment plan are legally binding. If they miss even one payment, we can pursue the full amount immediately and add penalties. Jennifer has become a friend. She told me she sees cases like mine more often than people think. Parents who exploit one child to benefit another. They rationalize it as family helping family, but it's really theft with emotional manipulation. The victim feels too guilty to question it. "I paid them $51,000, I said. "Money I needed for my own debt. And now they're paying it back. With interest. While everyone in your family knows what they did, that's the part that matters most to me, honestly. Not the money, though I'm glad to be getting it back, but the exposure, the truth. For years, I was the independent one who didn't need help. Rohan was the one who needed support. It was framed as personality differences, not favoritism. Now everyone knows. They lied about bankruptcy. They stole from me. They funneled my money to Rohan while I ate rice and beans and worked 2 jobs. Here's what I've learned. Some parents create financial crises to manipulate their children. They claim poverty to extract money while living comfortably. They use guilt and family obligation to steal. My parents had $400,000 plus in net worth while claiming they were facing homelessness. They had the money to help me with college but chose not to. They had the money to help both children, but chose to give to one while taking from the other. And they would have gotten away with it if my father hadn't accidentally sent me that text about Rohan's boat. If you're watching this and a family member asks you for money for emergency debt, please do this. Ask to see the bills. Request documentation. Offer to pay creditors directly instead of giving them cash. If they resist, if they say, "You don't trust us," if they make you feel guilty for asking questions, that's a red flag. Real financial crises come with paperwork. Real debt has statements, payment schedules, creditor information. If someone can't provide proof of the emergency probably doesn't exist. And if you discover you've been defrauded, don't let guilt stop you from taking action. Don't let, but their family, prevent you from protecting yourself. Get a forensic accountant. Get a lawyer. Document everything. Pursue repayment. And don't be afraid to expose the truth, even if it's uncomfortable for everyone involved. My parents taught me that family helps family. But they forgot the part where family doesn't lie to family. Family doesn't steal from family. Family doesn't exploit guilt and obligation to commit fraud. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever been asked to contribute to a family emergency that seems suspicious? How did you handle it? What would you tell others who are being pressured to give money? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if this story helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And remember, financial help should be voluntary and honest. If someone needs to lie to get your money, they don't deserve it. I'm Maya Patel. I'm 32 years old. I paid $50,000 toward fake debt my parents invented to funnel money to my brother. And thanks to one accidental text, a forensic accountant, and the willingness to tell the truth publicly, I'm getting every penny back. Trust, but verify. Especially when it comes to money. Especially when it comes to family.